it's not even that it's flat. It's not even that pancake butt situation that we talked about before. It's just like someone took like a shrink ray to it. Earlier we were talking, man, and you were saying you're dialing in your diet again, and I figured like around this time of year, start of April, it's like perfect timing to do the proper gradual progression towards the summer body, right? And is that why you said
Mhm.
that you were down the diet in, or was it more like since both of our birthdays are coming up in April, you're like, oh crap, gotta make sure I'm good for my birthday?
Yeah, probably it's probably the former in that one. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's either. Just the fact um I haven't done a diet, like stuck to a diet since 2017. Um, and not that I'm like crazy different weight wise. I'm probably like even a little lighter than I was to start the diet that year.
Mm,
I think I was like 172 to start this diet.
right.
Um, and really, yeah, just like okay, need to just want to taper back like all my extra eating and stuff like that. So,
Mm.
just trying to find a good realm. I've kind of slowly gotten back into working out more readily. I think I hit like 5 workouts last week for the first time in months. So
Nice, man.
that was really good. It felt really good. Not necessarily that 5 workouts is like the magic number, but
Right,
it
exactly.
it it felt good to do 5 workouts last week. So
So
and yeah, I mean like just like yeah, it'd be nice to like not have like the extra love handle fluff and stuff like that that is very manageable with just a decent diet and whatnot. So
right. Yeah, I figured it's kind of good since um, what I'm trying to do, like, last year, like, my big thing was, like, getting bigger arms, and I haven't measured them lately, but I think, like, by the end of the year, I put, like, 3/4 of an inch on the right arm and, like, half an inch on the left arm, which is, like, pretty good, like, obviously
yeah,
people want to have, like, multiple inches, but just, like, for how long I've been lifting, and the regimen I was on, which is like pretty lackadaisical, like not doing like a hardcore session, not going to like a commercial gym or anything like that, not having like an awesome garage gym setup like you have, like pretty bare bones and minimal like I do. That was great, but what I
that is
wanted
great.
what I
That is
wanted to
great.
do this year, I'll still keep having like the arm workouts in rotation, but what I wanted to tell you, and like this is the main reason why I wanted to record, is what I want to do is I want to grow my butt this year, but not because of the reasons like most people do. Because like I honestly I don't care about like the actual shape. Like me, I don't take selfies. Like there's
Yeah.
no big boost on that. But dude, like every time in the past when I dieted down, when I was on a plan, and everybody loses fat in different spots first, right? Like what we always say is like you can't spot reduce. So like everybody they
Right.
want to lose weight in their core. I mean, and like ab discussion is another thing. But in the past, I'd always lose weight in my face and my forearms, and it always pissed me off because I was like, man, my like forearms look like skin and bones. But over the
Mm.
years, man, with like the loose and like okay macros management that I do, I've lost my butt. And again, I don't care like how it looks, but it's been a pain in the butt with like my pants are falling off
No,
of me.
no
Usually it's like
pun,
the
no pun
waist.
intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. Like everybody talks about the waist, and it's like, dude, it's not the waist because like I can still strap on the belt, but like it just the jeans are sliding off because there's nothing there to grip.
Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. Okay, well, with that in mind, John Dow, what are you doing to grow your butt?
My go-to reaction is I think I want to first approach it like how I did with my arms. Just first of all, implement like a regular frequency with it. So if that's like the target muscle group, like that's the primary workout for the week, right? So
Gotcha.
what moves comes in that? Uh, Making better use of like glute bridges and hip thrusts, which I can do at home, and then I have dumbbells where I can do like the kettlebell swing from that. And I do have a barbell, but like the max weight I have on it is just like 100 pounds. But doing some deadlifts off of that. So those are like kind of the key lifts in rotation. So I think I just need to play around with. This might be kind of the challenge where with arms you can play around with like the tempo a lot more. Like I don't think at least me I wouldn't really recommend doing a really slow tempo on like a deadlift for most people. Then
Hmm.
again, with like the max weight being about 100 pounds, like maybe that won't really be an issue compared to like trying to do a slow tempo with like 315 or something like that, right?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Like RDLs and like maybe like a single leg hip thrust
Yeah, the
with the
single leg
bar.
implementation, like the RDLs, like I just never think to doing them. For
Mm.
whatever reason, they're like the more tedious variation for me, but I probably got to put them into the mix.
Yeah, because they're nice because you can like feel the glute tension on them because you never like relax completely, right? You
Right.
like you kind of get a lock out of the top, but like on the way down, you really if you do like not like a super slow, you know, um stretch, but like if you just do like maybe like a 3 to 5 second, lowering phase. I remember one of my Jen Sinclair programs from forever ago had uh an eccentric slow load deadlift, and like that was those were those were tough. You didn't need a whole bunch of weight for those to be hard. And now granted 100 pounds for you is still like so far off like your deadlift weight.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know how viable those are, but like for sure the single leg glute bridge or the hip thrust, even without weight, is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the one I'd key on the most with like limited weight resources. And then the next thing I'd do is I'd buy you a set of booty bands off of Amazon for $20.
Are those any different from like the resistance bands that go around like the ankles?
So they're like a cloth, so they feel good if you're wearing shorts or anything. They don't
Okay.
like pull your hairs, and they like last a lot longer, and they never can snap. Now the little resistance things in them, there's like all these little resistance like strings that
Mm-hmm.
go through the whole band. They could snap over time, but never will the whole band break because it's like a cloth, like fabric type thing,
Mm.
that expands and contracts. And they're literally for a set of three on Amazon is like I just sent one to a client for like $19
Oh, yeah,
shipped.
that's awesome.
So and like those come in three different resistance sizes, and then they add like they make your all your clams, all your abductions, monster walks, lateral walks, seated abductions. They make all those like 10 times more useful.
Right. And I'm
Um,
glad you mentioned those because, like, as you were talking about the bands initially, that's what my mind started to think of again, kind of like those supplementary workouts. I was like, oh, yeah, those are good ideas. Probably, I don't know if I would actually do like a full fledged like Pilates or yoga program, but like some of those isometric holds basically that come from those
mhm.
poses,
Yeah,
like might incorporate some of that because other than that, like, I don't know, man, trying to like harken back to like the kung fu days, start throwing some kicks, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and like all this stuff are good, but like definitely like for you, hold on, Izzy is banging on the door like
Oh, good.
crazy.
They were doing their zombie outbreak audition.
I just started watching a new anime that's about zombie teen idol girls.
I think you were telling me on Netflix, right?
Oh no, that was a different one.
Oh, okay.
That was the Yakuza teen idol one.
Right.
Anyway, I'll talk to you about it later. But anyway, so yeah, supplemental. So we're talking about supplemental stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think it's all person dependent, but like things like split squats and stuff like that.
Yep.
Um, even like with your barbell, I don't know if you've done them, but like where you basically will like straddle lift your barbell and like a split squat, where you basically be like, "Oop,"
I'm gonna
you
assume.
basically be like this, barbell in between your legs, down, up, pulsing from that. And if you're someone who like gets a big glute burn from your split squats, you that 100 pounds of that would probably be crazy
Dude, that's
hard.
basically like I obviously like a split squat versus just like a deadlift, right? But it's making that Jefferson deadlift look not as stupid, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say it's kind of like a modified, yeah, Jefferson, where the Jefferson's a little funky,
Yeah, yeah,
a little funky. But I mean, the Jefferson, just a different deadlift at the end of the day, right?
hmm
I mean, everything has its uses, but
exactly.
Jefferson can definitely feel really funky with how wide you are stance wise and whatnot. But that one could be cool um, because 100 pounds on that would be, you'd feel that. I mean, because if you hold 250-pound dumbbells for split squats, you're getting work.
Yeah. So I think just to kind of like recap and boil it all down, just like building it up, right? Because the bottom line for anybody who's trying to do their workout plan, you can have like the most optimal thing, but you got to really have the key core focus on what you're actually going to do, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
think the bare basics that I know I can do, again with that frequency, and especially with glute bridges and like hip thrusts where you don't really need any equipment. I think I want to get in the rotation of like a 3 by 20, like at least
Yep.
like every other day. So like that's just like the baseline, right? The bare minimum that I'm gonna do. Then I can
Yeah.
do like the kettlebell swings as part of like the cardio lift. Then then we have to open up the idea to the discussion of like what is the actual resistance. And before with my arms, of course like I should be lifting heavier with the arms, but I can get by a little bit with like the dumbbell weight that I had. And I don't think that's going to be as easy when you're talking about the glutes where it's like a bigger muscle group, right? So you need to be a bit more
Right.
taxing on it. And that's why I think it's important, like for people who are listening, what Chase is talking about, it's like, well, okay, if like 100 pounds is like the most I got, which unfortunately it is, like how do we make that as taxing as possible? So the split spot squat variation is good. Otherwise, like I do this sometimes just to make myself like work a little bit more, but it's not going to be as beneficial just on the lower body. But doing like the wide grip deadlift pull, I
Mm-hmm.
forget what the term for it was, but like a
Anderson
snatch
deadlift
snatch grip.
or snatch grip deadlift. Yeah.
But like you get more of a pull on the lats as well. Um, but then, so if you're not able to make use of just the weight itself, like Chase was talking about earlier, doing like the single leg stuff, and like that's a really good way to get like the real flex on it. Otherwise, if you could totally make use of more body weight stuff like the Pilates and yoga, like I was mentioning, but that for sure is like super tedious because then you have to like take into account time and how long you're gonna sit there and like hold it. If you're not listening to music, use a timer and that sort of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Yeah. So, do you have kind of like, are you trying to keep up with the majority of your lifts like 3 days a week or what
Yeah, at least three
with the
days a
glutes?
week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And then are you just going to keep up measurements?
I need to do like a starting one, huh? So like I'll take
Mm-hmm.
one this week, and maybe we should just double check with you. Like the glute measurement is just like the the fattest part of the rump. Is that what we're going for? Just like how you go for the fattest part of the thigh.
That's typically what I do. So, like, if I was gonna like look at my rear end, I, I would go
We're
like
professionals.
we're professionals. I would take my tape measure.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da! I have one right here.
Wow,
Perfect.
we did not rehearse this.
And I would basically go
Yep.
like this, and we'd come up with the number that I've always dream of.
What number you ever dream
Four,
of?
40 inches,
Whoa.
40-inch patty,
Yeah.
because my butt's the only thing that grows
I'll take a
when I
measurement
do
after this
legs.
call and I'll message you. Like
Okay.
I will be
Yes.
surprised. Like dude, I it might be at like 31 inches. Like,
No, no, there's no way. There's there,
I'll tweet it out. I'll reenact our fitness Twitter.
there is no way your butt is 31 inches. Even with like
Something's
shots.
wrong, dude. Something's wrong. I'm telling you. Without me having to show my bum on camera, something's definitely wrong. It's not even that it's flat. It's not even that pancake butt situation that we talked about before. It's just like someone took like a shrink ray to it. Me and Chase are best friends, but this is by far like the most we've ever talked about my butt. We talked about your butt before because I know like you were trying to go on like certain programs, testing out Bret Contreras' stuff, to do booty blast and that type of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, I think I flirted the idea. Is like my butt's because for years I've tried to grow my legs.
Hmm.
We've had plenty of those conversations, and so finally one year I was like, forget it. My butt's the only thing that grows. I'm just going all in and just try to grow the biggest butt. Now I didn't stick with that one too long. I don't know that wasn't as interesting to me as growing awesome quads, but
Yeah, yeah.
it was part of the discussion at one point. So, oh man, that's so funny. Shrink ray butt.
So,
That
so
is too.
I have like one more thing, just like a quick comment to make. But like, was there anything else you
Yeah.
wanted to say about glute workouts in general, man?
Um. I think just like keeping your stuff, varied and like the stuff that's light, like just do a lot, like just do a lot of it. Like I think you would do good spending a little time on like if going down like Bret Contreras' old stuff, like his glute finisher stuff, like when you get those
Right.
bands, because he uses those bands very a lot. He's got his own set of bands, but his are like, like 20 or $30 a piece. And like you can get like those are the exact same bands, I guarantee it.
Mm.
From the same factory. He just had his logo put on them. And so I would just I would grab those sets of bands and I would go like look through some of his old like 4 minute finish, 8 minute finishers, stuff like that. Like, and at the very least, even if like you don't do glutes that day, just doing the finisher on the bands probably would give you like a nice like glute pump.
Yep.
That'd be another thing that'd be interested to see is like how just like biceps grow
Mm-hmm.
in a workout, glutes do the same thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Hopefully it's not the inverse. Which
yours implodes. It all goes to your butthole.
um,
Butthole grows out. But like I've had like some of my clients like get like an inch and a half pump in their glutes
wow.
like in one workout. So um yeah, like try that too. See like what your measure your glutes and get like a I don't know 100 glute bridges or something.
Yeah, man. Um, the last thing, like, definitely not as serious and like helpful on this, but dude, how long has cake been the slang for butt? Is that like newer
Oh,
slang, or was that even like
new,
back in like the early 2000s?
no. Like probably newer.
Okay.
Like I'd probably say like the last like 5 years.
Okay.
Like
Like as recently as thick, like around the same era.
I think thick. Now the thick with two C's.
Yeah.
I think yeah, probably like around the same time frame.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to say like what were like I'm trying to think of like 'cause generally it's like whenever you hear it in a song that like I want to say like because thick was definitely used back in the early 2000s as a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now at that time I think it was just K thick, like thick,
Right. Right.
you
Right.
thick girl.
No,
Yeah.
well,
All right. So in this like Urban Dictionary thing, this the cake as butt was made in 2015.
okay.
Was when it was put into one of these. It's not Urban Dictionary. Let's see if Urban Dictionary. Yeah, 2015 is when Urban Dictionary got theirs as well. And generally, I say they're pretty on top of like um, when stuff comes in. So like, let's type in like yeah, like thick with a K 2002.
Almost 20 years, man.
Yeah, then let's see thick. Now thick with two C's with 2017. Using thick has been around for almost 20 years. Um, the cake reference is the oldest of
Really?
the thick
Okay.
words. Well, yeah, it was 2015 according to the dictionary. If we're
Okay.
gonna go off of like when someone input it,
Right. Right. Right.
and then the double C thick was 2017. So there we go.
The more you
The
know.
more you know.
Exactly.
Congratulations, sir.